There's sheep poo everywhere.
Yeah, I know there is. We haven't picked the best place. Look, it's all over my tyres. Ah. So I thought we were going to have a beautiful day today to do some intervals. As it turns out, we've got the exact opposite. I wonder if the weather's going to be like I say, Etape du Tour. Likely not. Although it could be, you never know. Could well be 40 degrees though, not 15 degrees and drizzle and 20-mile-an-hour wind. It's blue skies over there, that's where we should have gone. So the plan is to do 3 reps today of 1 climb. The climb in question is this one here, which is essentially just a very quiet lane in the beautiful Welsh countryside. It's about 8 minutes per climb at the type of intensity I'm doing, which is going to include 40-20 intervals. But there's not 40-20 intervals where I'm going like all out or at capacity for 40 seconds and then completely resting for 20 seconds. Instead, I'm sort of capping my power a little bit on the 40s. I'm still going like relatively hard, and it gets to a point where maybe I get like 5 or 6 minutes in and I start to question my life choices. And that's when I know I'm doing it right, when I'm only a couple of minutes from the end of the actual climb or the interval and I'm just starting to fade. So rather than looking at power per se, I kind of just gauge my effort on how I feel. The 20 seconds rest though is not rest. It's going to be like around 80-85% of FTP, or essentially, you know, still riding fairly hard. I've done a couple of these interval sessions, maybe 2 or 3. I've just done 1 set already on the way here, and I already feel like I'm adapting quite well to them. I've always been a big fan of over and under intervals, particularly the ones where you're going pretty hard just for like a short space of time, like 5 to 10 minutes. So I'm in my element when I do these. The climb in question, it's like 1.7k at like averaging 10%. I might be wrong, I'm just guessing. The climb does actually extend. If you want to flip around, it goes all the way up there. So depending on how I feel, how far I get time-wise, I might go all the way to the top. So there's an extra like 2 minutes to get there if I really feel like I've got it in me. Right, that's it. Let's get stuck in and do it. I don't want to stand around this cold anymore. So that was a 7-minute block in the end. The first one I did was 9 minutes because it was a different hill. But I'll do one more now and maybe go slightly over the top of the climb. Depends. See if I can get over 7 minutes. I just like to do them on a climb. Well, yeah, I like to do them on a climb because I like climbing. But it's very easy to stay on the power in the rest intervals when I go up a climb. This one perhaps is maybe a little bit too steep, but a nice gradient would be like a 6 to 10% gradient. Anything steeper than that, like the bottom part of this climb is like nearly 20%. There's a little like corkscrew at the bottom, so it makes it a bit more difficult to like regulate power. But I would say a 6 to 10% gradient is probably a sweet spot. But to be honest, I've done these on a flat road as well. I think the difference is there's just different kind of recruitment going on. You're going up a climb, you're having to fight gravity, you're having to pull on the bars a lot more. You know, you might even be in and out of the saddle. It might be your climbing style, it might be 40 seconds out the saddle, 20 seconds in the saddle. Whereas on a flat road, you know, chances are you'd be in the saddle the whole time. So it's not that I would only do one over the other, but I think they both have their advantages. I definitely feel like I could really turn myself inside out. Those last like 3 minutes, I'm starting to grimace a little bit. And the Tour de France is on now, and no joke, but I always get like more motivated when there's real life racing going on. So I just kind of, it sounds corny, but like I picture myself being in that race. Just gives me a little extra boost, you know, when I'm coming to the end of an interval. I like picture myself like, oof, picture myself like hanging on the wheel of the pros, that type of thing. It's you know, it doesn't happen, but it's visualization. Right, okay, let's get this last one done. Head to a cafe, reward myself with a little coffee, and get Charlie a pastry for braving this horrendous weather.
It's not the weather, it's the horse flies.
And then I'll do another heat session later this evening. So some of you may have noticed this that I'm wearing on my nose, which is obviously one of those breathe things that people would wear if they snow. But I've seen a lot more people in the peloton wear these over the last year. My nose, although quite large, is quite narrow, and my nasal passages are quite narrow. This 100% is making breathing easier through my nose. And the reason why I thought about trying them again, because I have tried them once before, but a good few years ago, is because of efforts like these, like really hard efforts, when you're obviously, like, you know, your body's automatically breathing and you're just gulping in oxygen, but there is an element of like a little bit of airflow, I think, coming through your nose at the same time. So having that open slightly. But one thing I have thought about is using this more for like endurance rides, conversation pace rides, where I can just breathe through my nose, or breathe through my nose more. And I don't know, it's just something I'm playing around with.
Do you want another bite?
No, one bite's enough. It's too good. I pay you in cinnamon buns.
I'm happy. You got cinnamon all over your chocolates, by the way.
What?
Yeah, lower left. Still there.
Oh. I can feel it running down my legs.
Gross.
Oh, the temptation to take my hood off like halfway through is so large.
I just want to go into the van or on the climb and I'm going to stop.
You show everyone what you're doing?
It is hurting.
Ah! You missed that. Look at that.
Ew. Oh, gross. Do that again. Oh.
It's a bit manky now.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get another one.
It's covered in sun cream because I've been getting on straight after rides, so it's like all black on the inside. Look at that. It probably doesn't have much life left, but
No.
it lasts until the Etape. It's in my sock. And like